Welcome back to Treasure Hunters Roadshow from Houston, Texas. Now let's float back over to the Roadshow and see what's going on there.
Earlier, a man came in, and he is the chief sparring partner with George Foreman. He was also his cut man for several years, and they're still great friends today. He's got some really cool stuff, and we're gonna find a collector for that, definitely. Nice to meet you, Brent. I am so excited to see what you have in here.
I'll start with the most impressive items I think that I have is some of the badges, like when we worked the corner. This when he fought Jimmy Ellis, when he fought Lou Savarese, when he fought Evander Holyfield for the title, he signed the back of it. I know he wouldn't be mad at me selling the items, because when I had him sign it, I asked him, is there anything he wanted out of this stuff? And he said, no, Brent, they were yours. This is the program from Canada. And of course, George signed it also.
So all these have signatures on them?
Yes, sir.
Now, because he was a sparring partner and it's his collection, that really helps authenticate and legitimize what we see.
Well, while you're holding that up, I'm saying this ring on your finger. What is that ring first? Tell me what it is.
It's a World Heavyweight Championship boxing ring. When he won the title, I was given this. It's got my name, his record, and of course the other side's got his name and when he won the title both times.
Sure does.
And it's got the World Heavyweight Champion. It's built like a championship belt.
That is something else. I'll tell you what, just give me a few minutes and sit tight, and I'm gonna go work on that, okay?
All right.
Appreciate you bringing that in, Brent. Thank you very much.
I hope people will enjoy it if I do sideshow somebody that really wants it.
Brent, hey, how are you?
All right, sir.
I saw Jason's on the phone. That's always a good sign, right?
Yes, sir. Hope he's getting me a good offer for my stuff.
I hope he is too.
It'd have to be astronomical price for the ring.
You know, one thing I've learned is that there isn't anything on this earth that isn't collected by one eccentric person or another. But why should we limit ourselves to this planet when there's so many treasures out in the universe? Well, I found someone who actually shoots for the moon. Robert Perlman is a space history expert and the world's most elite collector of space memorabilia.
When I was 6, I decided I wanted to be an astronaut, like a lot of kids. And then I saw the movie Space Camp, and it really made me want to go to the real thing.
By the time he was 11, he began spending his summers at Space Camp. And in 2009, he was inducted into the Space Camp Hall of Fame. For the past 15 years, he's been living vicariously through the artifacts that were left behind.
This carried moon rocks, brought back from Apollo 11 and Apollo 12 inside the Lunar Receiving Lab here in Houston. This was used as a clean vessel to hold them for scientific study, and then was cleaned in between each use. So there's unfortunately no more moon rock material in here.
Speaking of moon rocks, I actually touched a moon rock today at the Space Center. So do people have moon rocks?
No individual can legally own a moon rock, but it doesn't mean that you can't own a piece of the moon. On this little piece of tape in the middle of this white triangle is a little bit of moon dust that came from Tranquility Base, where Neil and Buzz made history in 1969. At one time, they were the world's most famous people on the Earth.
Now, are astronaut autographs worth anything?
Most of them are worth $10 to $20 a piece. But there are exceptions, like Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon. His autograph can be very valuable if it's authentic.
Speaking of Neil Armstrong, I just heard somebody came into the Roadshow with a Neil Armstrong autograph.
I brought in 1964 original Gemini 2 project astronaut signature poster. I came into possession of this because my mother was an executive secretary in 1964 at Martin Marietta, and she worked with the project manager, and he gave her the poster that has the original signatures of Gus Grisham, Neil Armstrong, John Glenn, Frank Borman, and it's been in my family's possession ever since.
It looks like a Gemini 2, an important mission for NASA. We have some signatures from the astronauts. I see Neil Armstrong here, very prevalent. I'm going to go ahead and contact some collectors to see exactly what you have here.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
One of the things that leads to Neil's signature being valuable is that he stopped signing in 1994. And he did so because he didn't like that it was being sold, because he always thought that it was more about the entire program than what he did himself.
With the historical prevalence of the names that are on this, Neil Armstrong being one of the most famous ones, we found a collector and have a check for you in the amount of $2,750.
Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. That's wonderful. And I hope it's just someone who will appreciate it as much as my mother did. Thank you.
I'm back with Robert Perlman, Space Collector. Robert, show me some more of your cool stuff.
Sure thing. This is just some of the items in the collection today. If they have flown in space, like these two gloves here, you're looking at somewhere between $5,000 and $12,000, if not more. For a training glove, you're looking at something between $2,000 and $5,000. There's a lot of value that's put on making that trip to 62 miles or above, or in the case of the space station, up to 240 miles up above the Earth.
These bread cubes actually flew on Apollo 11. Robert originally bought these for $100 in an online auction. Today, they're valued at $65,000. Talk about food that is out of this world. This is a full meal from the mission Apollo 13. This may not be the most gourmet or best tasting food on the planet, but it is worth over $50,000. Is there a toy inside?
No toy. This is the toy.
I'm going back to the Roadshow. Beep, beep.
Well, I have an offer for you. I think you're going to be really excited. We are. And we have an offer for you from a collector that plans on making it a home with them. So we have an offer of $10,000.
$10,000?
$10,000. They're going to take really good care of it.
That sounds like a plan to me. Well, that'll work.
Thank you. We'll get your check.
All right. Great. Wow, I'm going to miss this car. It's been a really nice car all these years, but it's going to a great home.
We'll be back with more Treasure Hunters Roadshow right after this.